Okay, what if you're asked to sketch y equals x squared minus 6x plus 8, or something similar, a more complicated quadratic? Well, there's some important information you need. You need the following for your sketch. The y-intercept. That's really easy to find. That's the value that's being plus or minus at the end. So it's plus 8 in this case. So the y-intercept is 8. You need the roots. That's where it cuts the x-axis. Okay? And you need the turning point. Now, there's two ways of finding the turning point, but I'm going to look at finding the turning point using symmetry, so it's going to be halfway between our two roots. The other strategy is to use completing the square, but we're going to look at finding it between the two roots. It's the turning point. So let's get started. Start off by finding the roots. We know to find the roots, we say that x squared minus 6x plus 8 equals 0 at roots. We then use whatever an appropriate factorising strategy is, or a strategy for finding roots that we're comfortable with, and we go ahead and do that. Now I'm going to factorise for this because that's probably the easiest strategy for me. Normally it is the easiest strategy, particularly at nat 5. So my two roots are, therefore, when I solve this, x equals 2 and x equals 4 at roots. So I've got my roots. So let's get started. So we've got our y-intercept from straight away from our equation. That's the number that's being added on or subtracted at the end. And then we've got the roots by factorising and solving in this case, but you could use another strategy. So let's get started. Draw my graph. Mark on my roots. It's a sketch, so it doesn't matter really where they mark on as long as you label them. So that'll be 2 because that appears first. 4 because that appears second. I'm going to make it a little bit deeper. My y-intercept is at 8. It's the value at the end. So mark that on. And I now need to find out where my turning point is. Now I'm just going to mark on roughly where I reckon it will be. It will occur somewhere halfway between 2 and 4. Well, if it happens halfway between 2 and 4, what's halfway between 2 and 4? It's 3 something. Well, my x-coordinate is 3, so what's the corresponding y-coordinate? Well, every quadratic, you can find the y-coordinate by substituting in the appropriate x-coordinate to the original equation. So to find our y-coordinate, we substitute 3 into this equation. So we say our y-coordinate can be found by doing 3 squared minus 6 times 3 plus 8. So this is my turning point. Okay, so that's going to be 9 minus 18 plus 8. So it's minus 9 plus 8 minus 1. So my turning point is going to be 3 along minus 1. And then I sketch. You make a better job of it than me, I'm sure, because you guys are far better drawing. It's not very nice, but as long as they go through the key points, you're absolutely fine. That's the quadratic. Let's have a look at another one. Okay, so let's get started. We're being asked to sketch a quadratic here. This time the quadratic is y equals x squared plus 8x. So first of all, we write down the y-intercept. That's whatever the numerical value is that's being added or subtracted. Well, there's nothing there, so our y-intercept is 0. Its roots, well, you're going to be doing that by factorising and solving the quadratic. So let's get started on that. So let's factorise that and solve. So you've got to set it to 0 at roots. Common factor is x, because it's only got a common factor. So x plus 8. So therefore we get our two solutions, x equals 0, and x plus 8 equals 0. So our roots our other root is x equals minus root. That's our roots. So let's get started sketching. One of my roots is through the origin. And the other one is at x equals minus 8. The turning point is through symmetry. The other strategy is completing the square, but through symmetry I can say it's halfway between here and here. So it's going to occur halfway along. Roots are minus 8. Well, halfway along is minus 4 something. To find the turning point, we do y equals the x squared plus 8x. We use this equation and we substitute our x coordinate into it. So the y coordinate is found by squaring and multiplying by minus 4. So it's 16 minus 32. So our turning point is at y equals minus 16 and x equals 4, minus 4. So that's our turning point. And so we then plot those points in. And off we go. Done. Right guys, how about sketching these two equations? Y equals x squared plus 4x minus 12 and y equals x squared plus 10x plus 16. As you can see guys, there's some solutions. There's quite a bit to them, but it's not too bad once you get into it. It's actually quite a lot of fun in my opinion, particularly once you get to know it. So the y-intercept comes straight from the minus 12. And that's marked on there. The roots are coming from factorising. So you factorise it. Remember the plus 6 becomes minus 6 in this here, because we're trying to find out what value of x makes this bracket 0. So minus 6 and 2 are my roots. And the turning point is found by, there's two strategies, but the strategy I use and showing in this video is found by using symmetry. So the halfway point between minus 6 and 2 is minus 1. And then I find what the y value is by substituting it into the original equation, x value that is. So minus 1 squared plus 4 times minus 1 minus 12 all comes together to give you minus 15. There's my sketch. And then lastly, up here, y equals x squared plus 10x plus 16. And on we go. Minus 5, minus 9. So really, what we need to make sure we're doing is we're watching this, we're getting a couple of practices, and you're really just going to start flying on this. Okay?